Hello, everybody. Travis Siblinger here again from Progressive Coaching, located in Zurich, Switzerland. And today's video is all about rules in this series on values and rules. And this video will continue on from what you learned in the previous session. I'll put a link to it up here somewhere because in that video, you learned how to discover your own core values. In today's session, we're going to look at how we create rules to go with our core values. So let's get straight into it. What are rules? Rules are beliefs. Okay, they are beliefs that we have, most often at the unconscious level, beliefs about what has to happen for us to experience each of our core values. That's what our rules are. Okay, so what has to happen? What has to happen for me to feel, let's say our core values are, let's say one is significance, one is freedom, one is love and connection, one is variety, one is passion, whatever your values are. Okay, so let's say the top one is significance. What has to happen for me to feel significant? Okay, the answer to that question is what I'm referring to as rules. So let's do it now. If I was in a workshop, this is exactly how I would do it. So I'm going to ask you, write down this question and write down your answer to this question. So first of all, have a look at what you did yesterday. Get your number one value, whatever it is, and then ask yourself this question. What has to happen for me to experience this value? Okay, so if it's significance, what has to happen for me to experience significance? Okay, and you can pause that now and write down your answers to this question. What has to happen for you to feel your number one value? And then ask yourself, what else has to happen for me to experience this value? What else has to happen for me to experience this value? Write down all of your answers. Okay, you can pause the video there and do that. And then there's only one other question that you ask, and that is, what would make it impossible for me to feel this value? So if it's love and connection, what would make it impossible for me to feel love and connection? And you write down your answer to that. Okay, this is so important because what's going on here below the surface is we've got all these values which we worked out yesterday, which lead us to pleasure, lead us to our personal happiness. We weren't aware of that, so we brought that from the unconscious to the conscious. And then even more important than that, we've all got our unique set of rules, a set of criteria of what has to happen for us to experience each of these values. And this is also at the unconscious level. So by bringing this to conscious awareness, we can have a look at it and understand it and see, okay, that's why I feel this way. Maybe if I do more of this, I will experience more of my value, or maybe I want to do something with my rules. Maybe my rules are making it very difficult to feel how I want to feel. So I'm going to share my screen now because of the importance of this. I want to make sure it's really clear and provide some examples on this. So here we see a list of one person's values. Okay, these are what equals happiness or pleasure values for this person. And they've put these in order of importance for them. And you can see that significance is their number one value. So this means for this example person, nothing is more important than feeling significant. This is what brings them the greatest pleasure in life. That's what this top position is. If a different person had love and connection, for example, in this number one spot, then love and connection would be their greatest source of pleasure that they could possibly feel. And so you can see how changing the order of these values will completely change a person's life. People live completely different lives depending on what is most important to them. And that's what the order of our values are. So let's talk about rules, okay? Rules. Yeah, let's talk about rules for this top value of significance. Okay, and this person's rules are, what has to happen to feel significant? To feel significant, everyone must respect me. To feel significant, I must be recognized for my achievements. To feel significance, I must not take any crap from anybody. To feel significant, I must post pictures of myself flexing on Facebook and get at least 100 likes, or I'm just nobody. To feel significant, I must always be the best. Okay, so can you see what the huge problem is with this person's rules? Okay, this person's unconscious rules that we have just brought to conscious awareness make it extremely difficult to feel his top value of significance. And if significance is one of our top values, that means we've made it incredibly hard to feel good, to feel pleasure. And most people have rules like these. People who have rules like the ones on the screen here live an emotional roller coaster ride. Okay, and the reason is this: most of these rules are completely outside of this person's control, which means they don't feel how they want to feel. Okay, for example, the first rule there, everyone must respect me. To feel significant, everyone must respect me. Okay, well, the truth is many people are not going to respect you. That's life. Or maybe they do respect you, but they don't respect you in the specific way that you have decided equals respect, according to your rule for respect. And what happens is when this example person doesn't feel respected, he doesn't feel his number one source of pleasure. Or maybe he also feels insulted or offended, or he becomes defensive, or maybe he becomes offensive. And the second rule there, I must be recognized for my achievements. Again, external validation there. Many people are not going to care about your achievements because many people have their own busy lives, and your achievements, believe it or not, are not even on their radar. And we could examine each of this person's rules in detail, but the first two there are enough to ensure that this person is going to be fairly unhappy consistently, because they're not going to be able to get their first most important value met. And if this is a pattern, which it usually is, if a person has rules like this that are completely outside of their control, they probably have rules like this for their other values as well. And you can imagine the dynamic that this creates, making it very hard to feel good, very hard to feel pleasure. Okay, so this person's rules here in this specific example actually make it impossible to feel significant consistently. I'm going to repeat that because it's an absolutely vital point. This person's rules make it impossible to feel significant, which is their top value, consistently. Now, if he changed his self-imposed draconian rules where the stars have to align for you to feel good, and people have to do what you want, when you want, in the specific way that you want, in order for you to feel good, if he changed these rules to be within his control, he could feel significant all the damn time. So here's the way to do that. This is the life-changing method to do that. This is the criteria for self-serving rules. Those previous rules that you saw that many people have, they are self-defeating rules, because that's what they're doing. These are self-serving rules. So what you want to do is make sure all of your rules are, number one, within your control. Number two, achievable on a daily basis. Number three, they help you be the person that you want to be. And they are very easy to achieve. They are not complex. The stars don't have to align. People don't have to do exactly what you want to do in the way that you want them to do it in order for you to feel good. So let's have a look at a very specific example. So we were talking about significance. What if we changed our rules to this? To feel significant, all I have to do is Remember that I am significant because I am alive. There's blood pumping through my body, and that is pretty darn significant. I feel significant because of the way I live my life. I treat people kindly. I'm kind to myself. I radiate love to my family and friends, and I try to learn and grow from every experience. I understand that significance comes from within. It is a choice. It is not achieved by external validation. It is radiated from within me. I choose to feel significant. I am significant. Within our control, achievable on a daily basis. This helps the person to be the person that they want to be. This is easy to achieve. It is not complex. It's within our control. How are these rules going to affect the person is the question. How are they going to affect the person? Is the person going to feel more significant with these rules as opposed to the previous rules I showed you on the previous slide? Absolutely, they're going to feel more significant because it's within their control. And seeing as this is their number one value, this means they are going to feel happier more often. Is the person going to show up differently in their relationships with others if they are not constantly trying to get significance from others? Yes. Will the person be more stable emotionally instead of living in reaction to other people's perceived opinions of them? Definitely. And all of these results have a flow-on effect, to other areas of a person's life. The improvements are not linear. Okay, there is a positive compounding effect. And remember, this is just one of the person's values. So this is the formula now. If you watch the previous video and write down your values, put them in order of importance for you, which is also shown in the previous video, how to do that. Then in this video, follow the instructions that we've shown, write down your current rules. Then write down your new rules, which you can see on the screen right now, fitting this criteria. Within your control, achievable on a daily basis, help you be the person you want to be, and are very easy, not complex. If you do this, you write it down and you read it with emotional congruency every day for 30 days. And you commit to living your values with your new self-serving rules. What do you think would happen? Let me know in the comments section, or even better, do it for 30 days. Do it for 30 days and tell me in the comment section what happened. Any questions on what I've put forth, you can also ask me in the comments and I'll answer the first 10 questions. I know for a fact how life-changing this process is. I've witnessed the effect not only in my own life, but in the many people I've walked through this process. Apart from that, please don't forget to like this video and leave a short comment so that more people can benefit from this content. This really is life-changing stuff. I hope that you all embrace it. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I have many more videos coming on the topic of values and rules. There is even more that we can do in this area. And I look forward to sharing this with you in the next upload. Thanks, everybody. Cheers.